Hi, this is Karen. I'm with inspiredbygraham.com, and today I'm bringing you my second episode in the 2020 Craft Fair series. And with this series this year in 2020, I'm going to try to bring you projects that I wanted to work on in 2019 and just really did not have the time to. So I'm sure a lot of you, a lot of my followers make this already, but I didn't. So I always wanted to. But what I'm going to show you today are these really cute gift card holders. So this one, they all have belly bands. They look like this. I've got my information on the back side here with a nice little belly band. And it opens up to a punched story label punch. And then you can simply, I've got one right here. I've got a Starbucks card here. Slide in a gift card here. Write a little message. And then just wrap it all up with the belly band. Simple. Just kind of fold it there. And it just slides on super cute. So this one's a little tight. So anyway, that's what I'm going to show you today how to make. It's like I said, it's super, super simple. And here's a fun pattern here for kids. This is a Dino paper from Stampin' Up, but really, really cute. This cardstock here, wanted to let you know, is on the clearance rack on my website, inspiredbygraham.com. You can get 24 sheets for $3.40, I think. So this is Dapper Denim. There's also Peekaboo Peach I noticed that was on there last night when I checked. And I think that was for $3.20. So super good deal on cardstock. There's also, let me bring in the other example because it's one of my favorite patterns from last year. It's on clearance as well. And it's the Nature's Poem Designer Series paper. So really nice for masculine. But you know, I like nature too. So anyway, this paper is on sale. You might want to check it out. Really, I think it's $4 and something for 12 by 12 sheets. So in a pack. So anyway, just a little information there. And let me just put this aside and we'll go over the stamp sets I chose to use for this project. I used the Just For You from Meant to Be. That's a cling stamp. This is a red rubber stamp from Sailing Home for graduation or retirement. Congrats, set sail in the direction of your dreams. I did use a retired stamp set because I love the thank you on this and it fits perfect in a 2-inch circle. And lastly, Itty Bitty Birthdays. Now this is really fun because I'll show you some examples when I stamp today, but I put a couple of the sentiments together to make one stamp. So let me just, I'll bring in a couple here. So I used Awesome at Any Age, Happy Day. I also used this one. I put It's Your Day, Cheers to You. And finally, I put They Say It's Your Birthday, Time to Celebrate. So I love how when the stamps are this small, you can mix and match them and you can get, they're very versatile and get a lot of usage out of them. So that's Itty Bitty Birthdays. And I'll have all this description down below and also on my blog as well. So let me set this aside. What you're also gonna need, and I found like super, super handy in this project, is a silicone mat. So you're not getting adhesive on your work surface. I do have some scrap paper here, but I love this and it was my best friend during this project. I made 207 examples here that I'll show you at the end. So I wanted to make all of these so I wouldn't have to make them again during the year. So anyway, the designer series paper we're using is this kind of funky pattern today. These are colors that I normally would not use every day. But I thought they were bright and cheerful and kind of worked with the project I'm working on. So, and I wanted to get some kind of like bold colors in my display as well. So those bold colors are always like eye-catching. So this paper here, you can receive for free during Celebration, and it's on page 6 of the Celebration catalog, and it's called Lily Impressions Designer Series paper. So it says here, free with a $50 purchase. So you could get some cardstock that's retired and some designer series paper and maybe a couple of the punches I'm going to show you today and get a $50 order, and you got some free paper. All right, so let me kind of arrange my work surface here, because I'm going to show you kind of like a start to finish project here, so you kind of see how I cut my cardstock and all that good stuff. All right, you can always fast forward if you want. So I've got the Stampin' trimmer here, the new trimmer, and I've got Grainy Apple Green. Again, this is definitely colors I normally wouldn't use, so I'm glad I could use them. So we're just gonna cut this at 6.5 inches on the short side. This you can use for your belly band, which I chose not to do, but it's kind of a perfect size to get 2 of them. And you can get 2 holders out of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So now we're going to rotate the cardstock, and we're going to simply cut it at 4 1/4, and another one at 4 1/4. Save this because you're going to use it. All right. So I had another sheet around here somewhere. I'm not sure where it went, but anyway, we actually are not done with the trimmer because we need to score. All right, so we want to use a scoring blade. We don't want to cut our paper. We're going to score it on the long side at 1 1/4, and then 4 1/4. So 1 1/4 and 4 1/4. And we'll just do the other one here too. I'm going to try to show you how I mass produce too. So, 207 I just can't make overnight. I made it in basically a 2-week process. I only have like about 90 minutes to craft every night, if that. So it does take me a little bit longer to create the videos and all that for you. So hopefully you're patient with that. Next, we're going to, and I like to bring in the silicone mat right now because it just keeps the paper still. So I'm going to, let's see, we need to stamp my information, like I said, on the back side here. Let me get a different one here. I've got my business name, my website, and the Stampin' Up! Angel Policy copyright rule. So if there's the mountain and the valley, so on your folds, you're going to want to make sure you're stamping on the correct side. I like to go tone on tone, so I've got the Granny Apple Green ink. And I've got my personalized stamp, which I purchased at rubberstamps.com. And I'm just going to simply do that. Now, when I was mass producing, I was producing about 10 to 12 at a time. So what I would do is I would stamp all those, my information, then I'd go back and I would stamp the Angel Policy, Stampin' Up! Copyright. So then we're all set there, okay? The next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to set my ink aside. We're going to use our bone folder, and we're going to fold up on the score lines. Now, when I was making all these, I definitely had some movies going. I've got a TV on my work surface here on the other end, so kind of kept me entertained as well. All right, so now I've got those folded up nicely. I've got my tear and tape because your regular adhesive is not going to keep this down. So we're going to create this little portion here, and you can see where I've got the tear and tape where it's not coming up. So all you really need is like a 1/2 inch of tear tape. Simply put that down and give it a nice press. Okay, I'm going to find the end here. And again, put it down there, and since we're mass producing 2, let's do that again. Okay, and again, you can fast forward the video if you don't want to watch the entire thing, or you already know how to do it. So now I'm just going to simply peel this up, and then we're going to fold this up and give it a nice press. If you don't give it a nice press, then you have a chance of it coming apart. So just make sure you do that. You can also take your bone folder if it's easier for you and just give it a nice press that way. Okay, so now we've got step 2 done. All right, so now we're going to bring in our adhesive, and we are going to add the designer series paper. So I'm going to do, what I like to do is I get this down and I just go down like this. So you're not lifting up a million different things, you know, going back to your adhesive 20 million times. I like to do kind of the same steps. So this is just going to go down on a 1/4 inch border there on the bottom, this little pocket here. And then this is directional paper, so I'm going to make sure I've got the lilies going the correct way. Again, a 1/4 inch border. It's so easy, and I kind of really love this together. The greeny apple green and all these other colors here too. Very nice. So now let's do one a little bit different. So I don't really like this side as the big focal point, but I love that paper. But we're going to do it opposite on the bottom, so you can kind of see how you can make these a little different. Again, I'm just going to put my adhesive on the back side. Okay, so now we're going to take this one and we're going to put this side of the paper up, facing up, and then this one has got directional. I believe that's the correct way. And there you go. So that's kind of a little different look to it. I don't know which one. I kind of like both of them. My eye's actually going to this one, but anyway, that's that. Now the next thing we need to do is create the label that goes in here. So for this project, I used 3 different punches, and let me bring those into you. I use this one a lot. You've seen it plenty of times on my past videos. This is a starburst punch. I also use the 2-inch circle punch, and the new punch for me is the story label punch, which is this area here, so you have a place to write for on your gift card holder. So let's punch out this. Use the starburst. Now this is the scrap that we cut out. So what I do is I punch out 2 because it's perfect. We're making 2. And then you're left with this piece here. Now you can keep this for something else, or you can simply take the story label punch, and there's just enough room here, and punch out something that you can use for later, okay? So and that's what I've done. I've got a ton of those in my scrap bin to use for future projects. So then let me just show you, like, also when I'm mass producing, I'll punch out, let's see, 20 for the story label. So I use a full sheet of the 8.5 by 11 Whisper White cardstock. So I just simply go through, this is just a scrap, but just to show you how quick and easy it is to punch out using the story label punch. And then I just kind of stack them up. This is off camera, but I stack them up here in front of me to work. And then also we're going to be using the 2-inch circle punch, and I don't stamp and then punch. What I do is I punch out 20 of the circles. You can get 20 circles out of one 8.5 by 11 Whisper White cardstock, and you just simply keep punching all the way around, cut it down, and then repunch again. So that's a little tidbit there for you. Now we're going to bring in 2 circles, and we'll use the Granny Apple Green ink again. And I'm going to bring in one of these stamps here that's kind of a mix and match from the Itty Bitty Birthdays. And I'm just going to stamp that down. And I'll bring it up to the camera there so you can kind of see it's your day. Cheers to you. And I will also bring in Set Sail on the Direction of Your Dreams. I really like that one. And I also actually need more of the congrats, graduation, retirement kind of gift cards. So that's a really fancy font. Just love it. Okay. We're done with our ink. And now we're going to, this ink is already dry, so we're just going to flip it over on the mat. And the mat actually keeps those circles from not moving. And you see how I just adhered to really quick, and we'll just flip it over, and then we'll just adhere this one. Okay. Now the belly band, so what I did with the belly band was I cut out also from that designer series paper, and you could, like I said, use that cardstock if you wanted to, some pieces that are 1 by 7 of the matching designer series paper. So what I'm going to do is just going to simply, actually, whoops, I almost forgot one step. We need the story label punch, so sorry about that. Got ahead of myself, and I'm just going to adhere this down again. I'm only touching this once rather than lifting up and adhering and then picking it back up again. So I'm just going to add that down there. It gives you a nice place to write. Okay, there. Now we can add the belly band. So I'm just going to simply wrap this around. You don't need to score this or anything like that. You can just fold it down. It's thin enough. And what I also like to do is I like to use the tear and tape on the belly band because it's a better hold, and you don't want this falling apart. And this is going to get most of the action anyway when somebody's opening it up. I just simply put about a 1/2 inch there on that side and just fold it down. And there's the belly band. It's kind of probably hard for you to see it. So what I'll do is let me just do the opposite color because we've got the opposite color on this one. So I'm just going to simply put that underneath, fold it over, fold this one up, give it a nice press, get my tear tape, 1/2 inch, and then we'll just give that a nice press and then lift it up and then fold it over. Okay, so that you can see a little bit better for you on camera. So now what we'll do is add 2 dimensionals to here because it's much easier rather than putting your dimensionals on the back side of the starburst and focal point. It's much easier just to put them on first, okay, then to guess where it's supposed to go. So much quicker. Okay, so then just make sure those are all pressed down real nice so they don't come off. And then you'll just have to peel the little backings off. And I found if you use your fingernail and poke it like in the middle, then it comes off so much better and quicker. All right. Okay, so then we're just going to simply take this starburst circle. Let's move this in the middle. And we're just going to put it right down. And isn't that super, super cute? I love it. All right, and it's really fancy rather than just sending a card with, you know, a gift card in it. You could put the gift card in the gift card holder and then put this inside a card. So that's my project for you guys today. Let me bring in all of the gift cards. Like I said, I mass produced, I couldn't believe it, 207. So I want to show you how, I don't even know if I can do this on camera, but because I've got 2 trays because I don't have anything big enough. So let's see how I'm going to display it. This is like really big, kind of, it's well over 1 foot and it's probably like 18 inches. It's a nice little wicker basket I got at a thrift shop for like $1. So I created these little signs here using the paper that comes in the designer series paper. It's that thick white cardstock. I used my label maker for the sentiment just for you. So I've got all my just for yous in one row here. Okay, this one's really pretty too. So just for you there, and those could be used for a lot of different occasions, not just birthday, but it could be used for anything. I've got my birthday ones all here, mixed and matched with like more of adult themes to kind of like kid themes, like the Dino paper I put on just for you over here. And then over here I've got my congrats, graduation, retirement. It's your day, cheers to you. That can be a congrats. So I kind of put it over there. And then the other tray I've got is kind of half empty, half full, whatever you want to call it. But I've got all my Christmas ones here, all in one row. And there are multiple different stamp sets. Itty Bitty Christmas works really nicely. And it's got a nice, this is kind of the red. I got Coastal Cabana too in here for coloring. I use the Dapper Denim again. This is on clearance. Don't forget to head over there and check it out, inspiredbygram.com. And then for babies, I didn't have a current stamp set, but so I used what I had. So this is from Moon Baby stamp set. And this is all retired paper. So I tried to use up a lot of the retired paper in this project. I've got some wedding themed here. This is the Magnolia Lane that's current. That designer series paper, really pretty. Again, oh, this butterfly paper. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I believe it was in Celebration last year. Just love that paper. And I had the Elegant Eggplant retired paper, which I still had. And this is that Nature Poem designer series paper that's on clearance. And then over here, I've got Thank You, and I've got to get some more thank yous done. So that's what I think I'll focus on with the samples that I have here, and what's cut on my desk is just to finish up and fill in the thank yous. So I hope this stock will last me throughout 2020, but if not, then I'll have to make some more. So pricing, really don't know what I'm going to price. I think what I want to do is, like, I know it sounds weird and I hate to deal with quarters and stuff, but I think $1 is too cheap. I worked really hard for these, and I think these are well worth more than $1. So I think $2 is too much. So I think I want to try $1.50 each, or $3 for something, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do there, or maybe $6 for something, or $5 for something. So I'll figure out the math, and maybe I'll put an update into the description once I figure out my pricing. But anyway, I just wanted to bring you my project for today. I know it takes a while for me to post, just because my life is just like super crazy, and I've got a lot on my plate, and that's how life is, right? So you got to craft when you can craft. So hopefully you learned something new. If not, hopefully I showed you some trips. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Tricks and tips for you today. So anyway, inspiredbygram.com is my website, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.